Hi everyone, so this is Darshana and you have been watching me, you have been listening to my voice since many days now. So I just thought of coming in front of the camera, which I generally avoid. So today's video is not about any cooking video, but it will be a video where I will show you or I'll share some tips regarding baking. So and I'm very particular since I'm a baker, so I'm very particular about few things in baking when it comes to baking, especially for the sponges which goes with the frosted cakes and whichever cakes I bake. So every time I bake one, I make it sure that I get it, the cake should be perfectly baked. And when I say it should be perfectly baked, what I exactly mean by that? Number one, it shouldn't have a single air pocket inside it, right? So that's the thing. And for me, perfect flat top cakes are what I look for. That means a zero wastage cake, right? So for me, a perfect sponge will have number one, a flat top. Number two, no air pockets. Number three, a very even color tone. Number four, no oil at the top. When you touch the surface of the base of the cake, you shouldn't feel like greasing your hands, right? And number three, number fifth point, absolutely no crack at the top. And last, an even texture inside the cake. So there are actually few pointers which one should remember when you bake. I have just jotted down few pointers, and I'm hopeful that this will be helpful for you. So I'll be just sharing a few tips. I have just noted down it here. I'll just share the few pointers, and in case if you have any confusion regarding this, do let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be happy to answer you guys. So number one, the first point, make sure all your ingredients should be kept at room temperature. That means eggs, milk, essence, butter or oil, whatever you use, it should be in the room temperature. Then number two, don't be lazy to grease your pans and cover it with parchment paper. So greasing makes a lot of difference in the texture and the output of the cake. Remember this. So if you are lazy, then please don't be lazy for the next time, okay? And grease it. Always grease the cake tin before you start preparing the batter, because once you prepare the batter and afterwards you think of greasing the pan, your cake will the batter will start to react with the baking powder or baking soda, and eventually your cake will not have that good texture, or it won't rise to the extent you want the cake to rise for. Then number three, which is very very important, number three, always preheat your oven, right? At the same temperature you are going to bake your cake, and minimum 10 to 15 minutes. Always remember that. Then number four, try not to use too much of sugar, or else your cake won't rise much and will tend to spoil early. So avoid using too much of sugar in your cakes. Number 5 point, avoid using too much of butter and oil, whichever you use. I prefer baking my baking my cakes in oil, preferably vegetable oil. Try using vegetable oil. And too much of oil or butter will make your cake dense. And bake your cakes in the middle rack of the oven. A lot of people ask me where I bake my cakes. Is it lower rack? No, absolutely no. Always bake in the middle rack. And also make sure the heating elements of both the bottom and the top layer should be kept on. Number 7, bake the cakes at lower temperature. Okay, I prefer baking my cakes at 160 to 170 degrees Celsius. But then remember one thing, if you are making it at lower temperature or baking it at lower temperature, increase the time of baking. Yes, so this will help to get you a flat top, remember that, and it will give you a good even finish to the cakes. So next time when you bake, make sure to bake it at low temperature. And the batter of the cake shouldn't have any air bubbles. So, always dab the cake tin after pouring the batter in the kitchen counter. It helps in removing the air bubbles if you have any in the batter. And number 9 point, never open the door of the oven in between after every 5-10 minutes. Have some patience, guys, have some patience. Your cake will definitely bake perfectly. All right. And number 10, the cake tin should be filled only till half of the cake's tin size, right? You should never fill, you should give a space for the batter to rise. And sorry, choosing the right size of the tin is also important. For example, suppose if you are baking a cake of 2 eggs, then preferably 6 inches cake tin is enough. And number 12 point, sieve the flour so that it incorporates air. Sieving is also important. So if you are lazy, then from next time, don't forget to sieve the flour. And don't use baking soda if you are not using any acidic medium. Baking soda and baking powder are two different things. Never ever replace baking powder with baking soda. The quantity also matters, and also whatever ingredient you are using. If your batter, if your recipe doesn't have any acidic medium, then never use baking soda too. I'll come up with another video where I'll share the difference between baking soda and baking powder. So, and one more thing which I shouldn't miss. Yes, and after the cakes are done, so take them out out of the oven immediately and cool them in the wire rack. Now, why should you take out from the oven immediately? Because otherwise, if you keep it in the oven is already hot, right? So it will the cake will still be cooking inside the oven. It won't stop. The cooking won't stop there. So make sure to take out from the oven immediately and transfer it to the wire rack to cool down. So I just hope that this video will be helpful for you guys, and I have shared few tips, and I'm very sure that you will love this video. So in case you need some other clarification or any tips regarding this video, do write to me, and I'll be sharing few more tips. I'll be coming up with some more tips in few days later. So hope this helps you, and if you like my video, please do share, subscribe and comment down below. I'll be really happy, because your support will help me to create more such contents, and I'll be back again with such helpful video again. So till then, thank you guys, thank you for watching, and thanks for your support. So see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye bye.